Hello everyone, my name is Anton, and in this video I want to give you my first impressions on this new PKM application that's out, Memotron. Now I'm on the website here. It's a pretty basic website that they have set up here. They have a pricing section here, and first off, there is no pricing right now. This thing still is in beta, and they're kind of just released it to the public so that people can actually start testing this thing here. It does work offline, so for those who like to make sure they have applications that work offline, this one is one that does that. And if we come over here, we can download also to mobile. So I have been testing this on my iPhone and on my iPad, and it works fairly well on those devices, but you can tell that they're just starter apps to kind of get something out there, because some things don't work very well. Now if we scroll down, we can see that they do have a video front and center that they released. It's one of the first ones on their website, and they go through all of the different things that you can do with the application. It gets many of the basic stuff out of the way. So if you want to do headings, any kind of quote blocks and check boxes, check marks, checklists, bullet lists, add in images and audio and video as well. All that stuff is in there. They kind of have a block formatting, and we can walk through that when we get to the app, but they kind of go in here and show you how you can actually leverage their application for taking notes and also embedding other content and relevant information into the notes to kind of enrich them. Then they kind of go through in the video, they go through their thoughts around PKM, and they kind of step it out here where, like most people, where there's a capture stage when you want to get all your information and pull it together, and then you want to curate it and organize the information, and then you want to synthesize it into something meaningful, right? So the premise of at least their methodology and why they created this app and how they created it is pretty good. They do give a sense of the application and its capabilities within the video. They go through a lot of different things that it can do, which is pretty cool. Like you can come in here and you can record your audio, and then you can transcribe your voice. And not only can you can transcribe your voice when you're giving it your audio content. If you tell it that you want to have bullet lists and quotes and things like that, it will recognize that stuff as how they're putting it out there. They kind of walk through showing PDF uploads and annotation. Within here you can connect and embed or pull in, say, different content from different places like Twitter and YouTube, so on and so forth. So we'll take a walk through the app, but just wanted to show you that this video is out there to kind of give you some of the basics of what you can do, so you can at least see if there is some kind of interest. There is no visual note-taking aspect of this particular application, but they do have a web clipper here to help you pull in information from different websites, and it works pretty well. There are some hiccups with it that I'll point out as I do my walkthrough of it to show you some of the things that are somewhat hit or miss on the back end that they don't really get into right here. With that said, let's go ahead and get into some of the app features that they have here and do a walkthrough. I haven't covered everything. Like, they do have some Kindle stuff, compatibility or integration where you can pull in some of your Kindle highlights and books and things like that. But I have played with it for a little bit here, so I can at least talk about some of the things that I've run into as issues. But for now, the basic stuff is out of the way, as you can see in the website. So if all you need are some basic things, this might be an application that you might want to start using. It's still beta though, so I would probably not use this in a production setting. But if you're eager enough to test this out and a little bit more risk averse, maybe you can start using this particular application and see how it improves overall. They do have community on Discord if you want to go ahead and sign up for that there. So yeah, for now, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so I'm logged into the application now. We can see I have it set up to show me everything here. They do have these different groupings for markdown PDFs, images, similar to, I guess you could maybe say, like a capacities, where it separates different objects into different areas here. And these cannot be changed. Like they don't give you options to edit anything here though. So like I can't remove any of the ones that are here, and I can't modify the names, and you can't create any kind of subcategory within these. Now, what you probably can do is just maybe put tags or something like that there on your content or the different elements or objects later, but right now you cannot manipulate, change, or hide any of the stuff that they have here shown on the side. It is real simple from a UI experience. Here on the left side you get this navigation pane, which really only has 3 areas. You go to capture, and then you have your different modes of capturing information. You can just do plain markdown, you can do audio, you can upload stuff via camera, and then you can upload files from your actual file system. One thing to note here is that if you're doing markdown, make sure, the markdown type, make sure you put a name in here, and also you cannot edit the name once you add it in here, at least not right now. So if I was to come in here and I leave this untitled as untitled, and then I just came in as this is, say, a test note. One thing you'll note is that you saw this draft saved. This draft being saved does not mean that it's going to show up in your list. So this says untitled here. What should happen is, as soon as I get out of this, if I click out of this, it should show right up in my list of markdown files. You can see even if I refresh here, that should show up. And that's another thing too. I noticed that you will have to refresh the screen or the web page, or basically kill and restart applications if you're using the mobile apps, in order to get data to kind of show up and really sync into the application. Now we do have this untitled that's here, but this is a different one. And what I was trying to show here as far as the that draft is that there are no drafts that shows here, but what happened is, because I created that draft, if I come in here to new node, it shows up here for me to finish off that draft. So unlike some other applications where there's literally, it goes into a folder and it marks it as a draft, or it just saves it as a note, and you know that it's a saved note that you might have to go back into. There's no differentiation between a draft and a regular note. In this case it is. You will have to hit this save button for it to be stored in your library. So we can see here where this is a test note, got saved here after I hit saved. And the thing that I was trying to show in the beginning with this here too is that you cannot change the name. So if I click on that, it goes into here, and actually this is updated. So this is actually pretty odd. So they must have updated something really quick here. If I come into here, look at this. See, the power of having a web application is this is amazing that they've already fixed this issue. From the time, it was just hours ago I was doing this, and I even have video that can prove that you could not do this previously. Here I cannot change the name of this thing. So this is actually pretty good that they've come in here and they've actually fixed this thing, so that's good. Now within this note, now that I can actually change this, let's go ahead and change this test note. There are a few things with this particular note that you can do. So you do have a kind of an outline here. So if I want to come in and let's see if we can do this here. Can I? It does not. See, it won't let me move the top. Yeah, it won't let me go in front of this block and then move it down. So what I have to do is I can come in here and I can put a heading, and also, or sometimes what will happen is it will just jump out and I'll lose focus on that particular line. It's somewhat working here now, so we'll just continue on, and let's go ahead and heading 2. And now I should be able to actually drag this block. Let's see if it'll let me drag that block. So I cannot actually drag the block. Okay, that's interesting. So they have these blocks, but they don't let you drag and move them around. So interesting. Let's delete it. We don't want that. So that's something that can probably be improved. Let me see, we got this little focus. So click ring to focus. What does that do? Okay, that's interesting. So it's still on the text note. We have this, what it looked like it did was it put us underneath the heading, and then I can come in here and, or did it create a new file? It looked like it actually created another file here. So if I go into test note, let's do this. We got that there. Yeah, it seems like it's another file here. Let's see, and I still can't click in front of this and then move it down, but let's continue. Alright, so we got this here. Let's see actually what will happen if I click. Let's put something under here. And let's click that one. So this shows, so I had something under here that is not showing up there. If I go back, it doesn't let me go back. I can go to the main note. This shows both of these. So this is pretty interesting here. I don't know. How about if we do that? Yeah, so I'm not too sure. This block is not available yet. Huh. Interesting. So something's not, I don't know, something's not right there. But in general, you can at least create these one-dimensional notes that basically, you know, a linear note that goes through here. I'm not too sure what's going on with the focus mode, and I think there's probably some things that they need to work out on that one there. Within this document here, again, we can go to an outline there. We can actually start seeing anything that's connected, or if there's any mentions of this document. We can come in here, we can see any properties. This will come in play when you start setting up the different collections. And here we can add in, or you'll see any comments or tasks or mentions. These are, I'm not too sure on some of these on how you actually even get this information in here. But again, this is just my initial look on here. So some things are working, some things are not. Like if I come in here and I do / command here, we can see some things are shown as planned, new. If I come into the headings, you can see like date, adding dates and mentions. Some of this stuff is either new, planned, beta. So they're kind of all over the place here with what's actually available. Even though they have a spot for it, some of the stuff they're calling out is not something that's available right now. Now this is good at least to show that this is stuff that's coming, but not knowing when this is coming, then this should probably, I don't know, maybe they could just keep these things in a roadmap instead of putting it here. Who knows how long this will actually be here. But this might actually be an incentive for them to get it done quicker and have some focus. So there's also a map that you can see here, and this particular map, we're just on that one file. Let's go to all, let's do a graph from the main side here, and we can get a graph of everything that's showing out there, and we can see those. You can even click in on one of these, like if I go to this one here, this highlight, it'll take me to the highlight so I can see it there. So that works fairly well. I can hide orphans and only show the stuff with connections on it. This shows in beta, so I guess they're doing some work on there. We can see you have tabs that you can have up top. So if I open up the library here, let's see, now this is clicking the library. You can see the app is somewhat froze here. Let's refresh it here. Again, this is a beta and this thing has just come out, so there is some work to be done on here, but they have these tabs up top, and we can see as soon as I clicked on the tab, it wigged out again here. So don't click on the tab the next time. Alright, so there we go. So we're back here, and if let's come here and we'll do a tab there. So this tab and this tab works fine. For some reason this other tab here is not working so well, but I was able to right click on it and remove it there. So this one goes, yeah, so that works fairly well there. A few other things here. In here we got, you can put in your PDFs, and in the PDFs you can actually do highlighting from within the app. One thing that it doesn't do is it doesn't recognize highlights that were previously in the PDF, so you're not going to see those, or you're not going to be able to kind of see those over here. If you want to have those sit over here, you'll have to kind of highlight over the highlights in order to get those in there. So, but that is what it is. I have another task icon here, which I'm not too sure what that's about. Let me see. So we got images, we got the audio. As I mentioned, you can record the audio. Here I recorded a piece of audio and then I transcribed it. Transcription works pretty well. They do have an option to come in here and change the how accurate you can make this transcription, which either speeds it up or slows it down, but you can get more accuracy if you want to change that. You got an option for video. They got the web pages. So here's some web pages that I pulled down. You can see that some of the images here are not showing up. What if I refresh? Yeah, the images are not showing up for these websites for whatever reason. We can click in on them. Preview is not available. I was able to see the previews at one point. So again, things are changing on the back end, obviously, because I've seen some stuff that wasn't working that's working now. So yeah, these are some things that you're going to have to contend with as you're using this particular application, since it is a beta and we're early adopters here using this application. Now, some of the web clippings, you saw the web clipping in the video. If we page here, this is pretty easy. I have the web clipper installed. Just go to the Chrome store. You can install this pretty easy like any other web clipper. Come in here, you can highlight stuff. You can choose a particular color that you might want for that. And over here, once you have a check mark on this menu bar, it'll show a check mark for this page if there's a highlight on it. So if I refresh this page, the highlight is still there. One thing to note is that if you click on here, you might think that you can actually just simply change the color, and it says clip saved. What happened is that it just saved another clip, and it also did not change the color here. So if I go ahead and refresh, we can see it still has that same color. But if I go in here into Memotron, let's refresh. So we'll notice that I have two of the same ones here with different colors. Yeah, so this is something that probably should be fixed to where they just update the old one or delete the old one. Yeah, I'm not sure too much what's going on there. They also have the ability where you can clip an image, and while this does work, it's a little slow there. You can see it's a little sluggish. You can give a note here, which is pretty nice. You can even link it to another application, so or another node within your vault. So I linked that, and we can go ahead and go back into Memotron. Again, I'm going to have to refresh, and it has not. Let me see. Here we go. It'll show up under the web screenshots here. And yeah, it's in there. One thing I did notice is that this this image does not really scale to the window that you have in it. So that's another thing that I think they're going to have to actually fix as a bug to optimize what how this actually looks, because I can't even see the actual full image that I highlighted on that web page. But you can have these shortcuts in here or these bookmarks in here for stuff, and you can quickly get back to the other page that you were on. One thing I did notice is if you click on that link and it takes you back to this page, even though the menu, it shows that there is a highlight here, you can come in here and you can somewhat see that there is a highlight on this page. It does not show. So I can't see the image clipping, and I don't see the other highlight that I did here. So you might think that it's gone when it is in your vault, but the website doesn't show it. So other applications, they kind of keep the state to where you can see the things that you have highlighted when you go back to that page. This one here needs a little bit of work so that they can show that and remember what's been highlighted on the page. So you can do some other things in here like tweets and Twitter on X, but I haven't tested any of that there. One other good thing I've noticed is that the webpage, the YouTube clipping is pretty nice that they have here. If we go to YouTube, once you click on an image, let's actually go ahead and expand theirs. What you'll have to do first is just clip the actual page itself, and once you click that page, we'll go in here and we'll refresh. What you get is this little widget here in the timeline, or right underneath the timeline. So I can click anywhere in the timeline and I can go ahead and clip these. And what this will do is clip these timestamps and put them within Memotron. So if I go back to Memotron here and I go to video clips now, we'll see once I refresh that those clips should show up in there. Alright, so we can see that those clips, those 4 clips did come in here. And also if we go into the main video, so we can click on that one there. They do autoplay. I wish this was something that they did not autoplay when you come to this page that shows these, that the video kind of it's just there and it's paused and you have to actually manually hit it to play. But this does show all of your clippings that you did, and then it also gives you kind of a thumbnail of that video section for that timeline. So this is pretty nice and one of those quality of life type features where you don't have to kind of click on it, remember what the actual timestamp is, and then manually type that timestamp somewhere to remember it. Now, and all of these things have a task thing on it, but I haven't found out a way to even add those tasks on there. So yeah, there's a lot more that I need to actually do and play around with here. One more thing before I actually end this one is that you do get collections, and you do have this thing called combinations, which is coming soon. So we'll focus on these collections where you can come in here and you can set up either a simple collection or a type collection. They have a query in the works, but it's not available in here. It's planned. So the difference here between these two is that this one acts more like a simple folder, and a simple folder here, and then once you have that one, you can just put stuff in it. So I can come in here and I can add something existing into there, and it's going to play again, which I really don't like. So that's in there, and an existing. Also, it would be nice if when I add that in there, it doesn't take me to it. So I find it kind of disruptive of the workflow that it's taking me to this when all I want to do is add it to the actual collection. So yeah, you can come in here and you can edit this particular collection. You can see here where they got properties shown. So if you have any properties on these, those can be shown here. It says soon more views, table view, filters, sort. So they will be giving you some other additional options for views and for sorting your actual information that's in your collection, which is going to be pretty nice. Right now they got a list view, they have a grid view, and a masonry view here. So these are pretty cool. And right here it actually does show the entire image of what was clipped on the web page, unlike in the actual page itself. So when I click the node itself, it doesn't show the entire image, but it did on the other one. So I'll go back there, go back another one. Now on the other collection here, you have a type collection here. So if I was to come in here, this collection actually is different because it allows you to put properties here. So like if this collection was for books, I can come in here and I can add in, I can add in, I can't type. I can come in here and I can add properties, URL, red, and let me see, what would be one, rating. So and then we can come in here, we can change these different property types. So like that one can be for rating, red can be maybe a single select, and I come in here and I add a few options here. Today, and these may not all work. Yesterday, and enter here. Don't remember. There we go. Whatever. And actually, we can just put a done in there. We finish reading it. And then there is for URL. Let me see. We should have a link one. And then for author, there is let me see, we keep it at the text, but you can see as you go through here, you have created time, you got modified time, location. There's a lot of stuff that they're starting to add in here, and that they have planned. Even they have formulas planned for this here, which I think is pretty nice. And yeah, I actually like the options of the different properties that they're going to be putting in there. Now these can be set up to be captured, so when you create these, let me see here, like those, these can always be viewed. Let me put it that way. Done. We can hit save. And now when I come in here, if I want to add one, let's do add. It will ask me for the author and then a URL. As I'm doing the creation, you see it did not add the other two that I set up in this one here, because I put these in as I create the actual object, then it will put it in here. So these are configurable to whatever you want to kind of put in there. But let me save that one, and then if I go back into it here, we can see that this property I can come in here and show see all. But if you notice, the read and rating is shown here when I put in there in that collection here. Hold on, I may have to actually go to the properties again to show you. But one I configured to show me when I'm creating the actual object, and the other one's just to show up when you're looking at the object. So these are the two that shows up after the fact, because if you're setting it up new, you might not have read it, or you may not have an actual rating for it, so these show up later. But you can still come in here and you can see all the options here. So so far so good on the property standpoints here, and these collections are looking pretty good. Now the UI is pretty basic right now. They have this search here, and I don't really have too much content. Let me come in here and see if there's anything on the YouTube side or web, maybe on the web clipping side, web page, Wikipedia. All right, so if we were to come in here, let's go all, let's just type wiki. So wiki comes up, productivity, shows a few things. So far, so good. Let me, what I have not tested, and this is showing, oh, okay, that's because of the search. It has something in it. Okay, so those all show up there. Can I put, does it support inline tagging? It does not. Okay, it does not support inline tagging right now. So how would I, and I think I saw somewhere in here, so link tags, let's go in here, link tag, let's put that there. No group. Let's do another one. Link tag 2. And let's do a 3. It's actually kind of interesting. I come in here and I can update the name. It says, okay, so if I want to do a group, do it this way. Okay, so that sets up the group. Then I can edit the group here. So you have to, if you want to do the group, you got to use that the formatting here in order to do that. So okay, so this is not too bad. And if I want to go back, let's go back and put this in here. Let me see, where would I put it? So comment link here, copy link. Let's go here. Let's do a slash command. Nope. Tag. Nope. GRP. Nope. So how do you add? Do an at mention? At. Nope. Those do not show up. So it's interesting. I'm gonna have to figure out how do you add those link tags in here. It doesn't seem to be that intuitive on how I would use that. So, but yeah, this is just supposed to be a quick kind of first initial take on this particular application. I kind of went probably a little bit deeper than I needed to on this first one, but it's pretty promising. There's obviously some changes happening on the back end that I'm seeing because there were some things that didn't work before, and that was before means like 3 hours ago I was using it and it didn't work, but it's working now. So there are some things happening in the background that are making this better. Still haven't gone into the Kindle integration stuff that they have out there. So as I dig into this application, I'll definitely post some more content on it and give my feedback, pros and cons. So if you like the information that you found in the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And until the next time, have a nice day.